All right, so this is just going to be a quick Bitcoin update. It's pretty late at night, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time editing this, but I decided I want to make a quick video. So I'm just going to quickly run over what has happened since the last video I posted, which was this one right here. Basically, I was looking at Bitcoin potentially making a lower high after getting the first market structure break that we've seen this entire uptrend, basically. We got a pretty significant market structure break. It was a 4 hour plus. What I was potentially looking for in that video was a move or a retracement back up to retest some of these key fib levels along with maybe some of these volume levels inside this previous range. And we did end up kind of rejecting from the value area low. We also got a rejection in between the golden pocket 786, and we got a move down from that, but we have not put in a lower high yet because we have not continued structure. So far, we are still just ranging here. And at this point, we've rotated back to the high end of the range again, and the potential for maybe a higher low on a higher time frame to be put in is starting to look a little bit more likely just based off of what I'm seeing on Market Cipher. But there are definitely some iffy signs, so I want to go over those. So we are now printing a red dot on the weekly time frame momentum wave. This doesn't really mean all that much because I've seen many times a red dot start to print on the weekly time frame, but then it disappear before the weekly candle closes and the red dot confirms. But it's good to be aware that that is there. And again, with this weekly red dot, I have to say I'm not really expecting like a major trend reversal from this. I'm more so probably expecting a retracement of some sorts, just because we don't really have any top signals on the weekly time frame. Momentum put in a higher high, money flow put in a higher high. Things generally look bullish, other than the fact that it looks like this momentum wave might have to come down for a retrace before continuing higher later. There is a chance that this is a top, but I think with the lack of divergences, it's less likely. And the daily time frame is now printing a green dot. So we did kind of see what I was thinking we might see with the VWAP, where it started to curve to the upside, but it flopped over. And it would be at this point that I would think we would continue the 4 hour downtrend. The weekly VWAP probably flopped over at the same time that price did, but we never ended up putting in a lower low. And at this point, the VWAP on the daily has curved back to the upside. It has some nice inward curvature. Let me zoom in and make sure that there are no cuts to the outside that I'm missing, but I'm not seeing any. This is looking pretty good. We have this original angle, and then it becomes more sharp as it crosses over. So overall, giving it that nice inward curve. And yeah, we're now printing a green dot, and we're printing above the zero line. Now, you could take into consideration that right now this is the lowest momentum has been in a long time. Before we were kind of holding this general zone, printing green dots, getting a little move to the upside, and now momentum has come down a decent bit. I would say that just because we're printing a green dot here doesn't mean we can't see some further downside. Maybe this just ends up flopping over. Maybe momentum has to come down into the red or below the zero line for a little bit. Maybe money flow has to cool off a little bit, and potentially we could see some continuation later if we print a nice bottom. Or maybe this is all we need. Maybe we just gotta, print a little green dot here and then off to the races we go again. The 4 hour is a little iffy just because we haven't really seen good directions start to form yet. In fact, it's still putting in lower lows in the red. So, this has potential. We could see this start to curve to the upside. This is maybe hinting towards us ranging for a bit more while this money flow starts to develop. Or maybe it just turns around right now and doesn't really give us a chance to enter. Maybe it just keeps on going to the upside, doesn't really give us a retrace, and the money flow starts to curve up as price pumps. That is a possibility as well. But since it's putting in lower lows, that kind of makes me think that we might range here for a bit more, and maybe we'll see another rotation down, and maybe we'll hold the range, or maybe we'll actually continue the 4 hour downtrend. But that's just the 4 hour. If we go down to some of the lower time frames, the 3 hour is looking a bit funky. This is kind of what I was talking about with the money flow putting in lower lows, and then all of a sudden it just gets a really sharp move to the upside. Now, a lot of times you do see this flop over, where you'll see money flow come back down, maybe put in a higher low, and do something like this, and then at that point you can kind of outline the general curve of it. Usually, when I see something like this, that's what I expect, but no guarantee of that happening. Maybe, like I said, if we start breaking this local range to the upside, maybe money flow just crosses now, and some of the time frames below it are showing pretty decent development. The 2 hour had good direction to the upside, not great follow through once it crossed into the green, but that could change at any point. Maybe this little purple wave brings money flow up some more, and then we can continue this upward direction. And checking out the 1 hour, we are actually seeing some promising signs. So we had this decent curvature to begin with, this nice direction following this bottom, and from there you can kind of extend the direction over, and we in a sense respected it over here as well, where we're getting another nice curvature in the red. So this is looking pretty promising. I like the overall direction, the fact that we're kind of printing a trigger wave and money flow to this anchor wave. But again, we are at the high end of this local range, and if we start rejecting to the downside, maybe that brings money flow back down with it, and maybe we lose this bullish direction. So that might be the first hint that either we're gonna get a move to the downside, maybe even break structure, or we're gonna at least hold off on breaking to the upside for a little bit. Maybe the first sign of that would be us losing this bullish direction in money flow right now. So kind of like drawing a trend line. Money flow starts to get significantly below there, then yeah, that might hint towards that. So that's what Market Cipher looks like right now. I can't say that I can draw any clear conclusions from that, but we know what the possibilities are. Maybe this 1 hour continues to the upside. Maybe we get some good follow through from this most recent money flow curve to the upside, and if we can break this local range to the upside, then at that point I'd say we're probably going to try and tackle this high, and maybe try and put in another higher high on the daily time frame. But as long as we are trading in this range, I am looking to trade this range, and we are at the high end of the range right now. So I am looking for reasons to short this in the context of this range, maybe look for a rotation back to the downside. And if I am able to get a short, I probably will hold some for if we lose the range to the downside. So that's kind of how I'm looking to play it. I'm not looking for any longs right now unless we do get a rotation back to the downside. I'm not really looking to long the high end of the range. And unfortunately, I missed a long down here earlier. I actually entered a long, but I got stopped out on one of those last wicks to the downside. I believe it was this wick right here that stopped me out, and I was waiting for another entry, but I never got it. We just pumped straight up to the high of the range. So I think that's about it. I don't really have much else to go over. I don't want to get too in depth with any trade ideas, because at this point I'm just seeing if we're going to start rotating back down or if we're going to break this range to the upside. That's kind of what I'm waiting for now. And again, in general, I'm going to be looking for longs at the low of the range if there's a good setup, and I'm looking for short opportunities right now. So with that being said, thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving a comment. All of that helps to support my channel. I really appreciate everyone that does that. And I will see you all in the next video.